welcome Coach Leigh McWhorter. He's the head football coach, interim head football coach at with the Franklin Cougars. Coach, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
As we were talking about earlier, you're in a little bit more of a different situation than most coaches in this district. I know you came from Los Fresnos.
Yes, sir.
With Coach Brown and Coach Horner, who played for me.
Absolutely,
long time ago. But nonetheless, what do you see as being some just positive and negatives of the season that we went through in 2020 up until now?
I just feel bad for our kids that they missed out on an opportunity to have a full season. As coaches, we're going to have another season, but those kids were shorted their season, specifically the seniors from last year. Luckily we down there were able to squeeze in 6 games, which is better than nothing. But there were some sports where their seasons were cut short. They didn't have the opportunity to play in the playoffs and everything that goes along with that. And you know how it is with those kids. They grow up with these dreams of, for example, becoming a Franklin Cougar and playing under the lights and going off to the playoffs. And it just didn't happen the way it did for them.
And what kind of again, just in your particular situation, what kind of adjustment did you have to make? I mean, I know you've been associated with Coach Walker for a long time, ever since back in Chapin.
Yes, sir.
But taking it from this program here at Franklin, how different does it feel? Or does it feel different?
It feels a little bit different. I've come back after being away from El Paso for, 6 years now, and my son's a senior this year. I'm not as familiar with our senior group this year, which I really missed out on. We've got a great group of seniors, and I wish I had them from the beginning. But as far as what goes along with being a Franklin Cougar, none of that has changed. The expectations are high. The kids are working hard. We've got a great pool of talent. So those are similarities from when I was there in the past.
And Coach, speaking of that talent, you have 3 running backs that are absolutely talented, that are absolutely, gifted. How do you incorporate all 3 of them into your offense?
Whoever's hungry that game, it changes from game to game. So if one guy's really getting it, then, that guy's going to be fed the ball. And they're all unselfish players. So going in with a game plan, knowing what the strengths and weaknesses of a specific defense is going to be, that may better suit one running back versus another. But we've got a great group of kids, and everybody's contributing in one way or the another. We've got kids that are backups on either side of the ball, so be it that they're starting on one side of the ball, they're probably starting on the other side of the ball. And it's really a family affair, a team effort.
And sort of the theme that we've seen with all the coaches here is that the underclassmen had a big role last year.
Yes, sir. And
this year, do you feel like those underclassmen, after having that role, can kind of step up into a permanent role this year?
Absolutely. We've got some young guys who are really going to contribute. We have a couple of sophomores, Shea Smith and Jordan, that are going to step up big time and probably start for us. We've got some other guys, some juniors, Bo Sparks, and that's just to name a few that are going to step up and fill some holes for us, and a lot's going to be expected of them.
Coach?
But when you look at your preparation for the season, obviously, Franklin's always been known to play really tough pre-district games.
Yes, sir.
And so for this season, as you look at the schedule, how do you see that pre-district schedule? I know you start off in Rio Rancho.
Yes, sir. So, even before that, we can't overlook Canutillo because that's who we scrimmage, and that'll be Thursday. Then we travel up to Rio Rancho. Then we travel the following week to Midland Christian, and then we end our pre-district schedule with Andrews, who's Andrews High School. So that should get us a pretty good idea of where we stand as a team and what we need to do better and what our strengths and weaknesses are going into the district schedule.
Well, let's get your feet wet real quick.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
and then your last question here, talking about the 1-6A. I know you haven't been real familiar with the 1-6A since you're being in Los Fresnos, but it's the competition obviously is very much the same. How do you see 1-6A as far as you have noticed so far?
Top to bottom, and I can't even say bottom because every week it's going to be a dogfight. It's probably as competitive a district as I've ever been associated with. So we've got our work to do. I'm excited.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Good
Thank
luck
you for
this
having
season,
me.
and we'll see you during the season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.